What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors. Welcome, everyone. So, before we get into everything that is this week's episode of Wrestling with Rumors, like I say every week, every rumor that you're about to hear is exactly what it is. It is a rumor. We can speculate as wildly as we want, but until that rumor is proven fact in some way, either we see it on TV or the rumor that the person is about confirms it themselves, it remains exactly what it is, a rumor. So with that, let's get into everything that is this week's episode of Wrestling with Rumors. New episode. Here we go. Bodyslam.net claims while Cody Rhodes won't be turning heel right now, he will undergo a character shift. Now, as far as what that character shift looks like, I think this past week's episode of SmackDown, before he said to Jacob Fatu that he's got a receipt coming, I think there were seeds starting to be planted of a little bit of a character shift in Cody Rhodes as he switches his role from being a champion to now being someone who is trying to chase the WWE Championship once again, try to get it for a third time. I still believe and feel that Cody Rhodes' time in SmackDown should start to wind down. Like what happens with Jacob Fatu, and then possibly even a triple threat match that could possibly happen either before or at WrestleMania for that WWE Championship, somewhere around that time. All this should start to wind down, and then Cody Rhodes should just be done with SmackDown, and then go back to Raw. I think it's time for Cody Rhodes to be on Raw now and chase after the World Heavyweight Championship. Mix in with some new people, mix in with some new opponents, maybe some familiar opponents, but get back into that whole thing on Raw. I think SmackDown should be done in these next couple of months. He should wind down everything on SmackDown and then move over to Raw, I think. And then, yeah, that's how I feel. I was going to say something else, but I lost what it was. So, but yeah, he should start to go over to Raw. They also say the top of the card for WrestleMania 42 is locked. Excuse me, did it again. Sneezed last week too. Just this nose thing and this weather. Anyway, as far as WrestleMania 42 being locked in, nothing is ever really locked in. It's not locked in until the lights are on bright and the music, and we are the day of. I think is that's where everything is locked in. But there's still a lot of ground to cover. We're unofficially on the road to WrestleMania. We're not officially on the road to WrestleMania until January 31st when we hit the Royal Rumble. But until then, there's still a lot of ground, there's still a lot of road before we get to WrestleMania. So for Bodyslam.net to say that the top card is in lock, I don't think it is. I think there's still plenty of time to change, and a lot can happen between now and WrestleMania. So I will leave that as a rumor and speculate on what the top card could look, but I don't think it's locked in yet. Another from Bodyslam.net, Blake Monroe will not be getting called up to the main roster as had recently been discussed, and instead there are plans for her in NXT through Stand and Deliver. After what we saw in this past week's episode of NXT with Blake Monroe, how all that went down, pardon me, I think she's gonna stay in NXT for a little bit longer. I think the same thing for Ricky Saints and for Ethan Page. These are three talents that are absolutely main roster ready right now, but NXT needs some of those top guys and girls to stay in NXT a little bit longer, to mesh in with a lot of the new talent that's coming in and some of the NXT talent that's about to get called up. So as far as Blake Monroe going to the main roster, I see her going to the main roster. I see Blake Monroe, Ethan Page, and Ricky Saints. I see all three of them going to the main roster before the end of 2026. I think once we get past WrestleMania season, once we get past Stand and Deliver season, and we start looking into the summer and fall, I think that is when we'll start to see them appear on the main roster, Raw or SmackDown. So they're not getting, I don't see them getting called up right now. No, I see them getting called up before the end of 2026. Absolutely. They also say Jada Parker is scheduled to return to NXT television, which she did on this past week's episode of NXT. She returned while Blake Monroe was out there talking. So there is something about to cook. She came out and just said, I'm back, and took care of Blake Monroe nicely and quickly. So there is something starting to brew up between Jada Parker and Blake Monroe. But yes, she returned to television this past week. And it was great to see her again. She got a huge pop. Everyone's happy to see her. Everyone is rooting for her. Everyone wants to see her with that NXT Women's Championship. It's got to happen. Jada Parker, NXT Women's Champion this year. Hell yes. And we'll 100% we'll see her at the Royal Rumble. I believe that. I believe that. Cedric Alexander has signed a new contract with TNA, according to Fightful. This is also true. That was really made official when we saw him on this past Thursday's debut episode of TNA Impact on AMC, as Leon Slater was unable to defend his NXT, the TNA International X Division Championship because prior engagements, which I will get to in a little bit. So they instead are having a triple threat match with Joe Hendry, Moose, I believe, and Cedric Alexander as well. It's going to be a triple threat instead. So Cedric Alexander ain't going anywhere. I'm glad that he re-signed with TNA. It's good to see him. Mustafa Ali also re-signed with TNA, so that's great. Those are two great talents, and I'm glad they're staying in TNA. There has been interest within WWE of using TNA's Leon Slater on the UK leg of the European Tour, says PW Insider. And that's what happened. That's why Leon Slater is unable to defend his X Division Championship because of WWE wanting him on the European leg of the tour, which he did when he showed up in an open challenge match, which I will get into a little bit later. So that rumor also true. Sources told Insider Gaming that that CM Punk will narrate and be a focus on this year's showcase mode in WWE 2K26, which includes a what-if scenario where he doesn't walk out on WWE in 2014. The video game is expected to be released in March. We should start seeing trailers for that soon. A what-if scenario with CM Punk if he didn't leave in 2014 is very interesting. I would be interested as far as the showcase mode in WWE 2K26. That would be an interesting thing to play to see how that looks, how WWE would look, what WWE would look like if CM Punk didn't leave in 2014. That'd be kind of curious. I'd be interested in seeing that. That'd be interesting. As far as the rest of the game, I don't expect a lot of changes to be made on WWE 2K26. Maybe a few matches might be added, but it's just a simple rinse and repeat with 2K games when it comes to WWE. Not a whole lot of changing happens. A lot of the characters that were in the previous game will obviously be in this game with a little bit of an upgrade to update how they look now. And characters that were added into the game as DLC will most likely be added to the game as well, including DLC of 2025, and including characters that were added towards the end of 2025. So like a lot of the John Cena characters that were added that you would have to buy that weren't part of the DLC, that weren't part of the DLC packages. It's just extra. Will most likely be added to the game as well. So yeah, cool. BodySlam.net says there are several people in WWE who believes AJ Styles will work a match in TNA before he retires this year. I believe it. AJ Styles opened up TNA Impact, the debut episode of TNA on AMC, and AJ Styles opened the show up. He came out. It was great. It was surprising. We will absolutely 100% before he retires and leaves the boots in the ring, we will absolutely see AJ Styles have a match in TNA. Who it will be against, I'm sure it'll be someone. I'm sure he's already starting to look to see who it's going to be. There was a moment backstage where he was talking to Frank Kazarian and then also looking at the TNA World Championship. That's possible. A match with Frank Kazarian could happen. A match with Leon Slater. That would be a great match to see. There are several matches I could see AJ Styles having that could work as a potential last match in TNA. Not a last match permanently, but a last match in TNA I could see. But he'll absolutely, before his time is up in TNA, before his time is up as a professional wrestler, before he retires, he will 100% have a match in TNA. Fightful Select says TNA internally expects there will be a significant roster shift to freshen up the product now that Impact airs on AMC. I think a lot of that refresh will come in the fact that a lot of there's a lot of TNA wrestlers who did not resign and that are now free agents, which I will get into a little bit as well. So with that, let's get into the next thing. Powerhouse Hobbs is now a free agent, and he could sign with WWE. The word on the pro wrestling streets is Powerhouse Hobbs, now a free agent, looks to sign with WWE, with going to NXT or just going right into the main roster first. It could happen. He is a free agent now. AEW did offer Powerhouse Hobbs a strong deal, and Hobbs chose to decline that deal and take the free agent route. So where he ends up, it might not necessarily be WWE. It could be TNA. It could be New Japan Pro Wrestling. But the likelihood that it would be WWE seems more likely. But I'm not gonna sit here and put a stamp on it and say, yeah, we'll see him in WWE in the next couple weeks or so. I'm not saying that at all. If he shows up in WWE, whether on Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, or he shows up in Saudi Arabia in the Royal Rumble, damn, right? Awesome. But I can't, it's not in me to just go ahead and just assume it, because in pro wrestling, you never say never. Anything is possible. Anyone can pop up anywhere, and we don't know until we know, So all we know is Powerhouse Hobbs is a free agent, and I can say that it is safe to speculate that he will go to WWE. and that is as far as I can take it. I will take it with that, but we'll see when we see. Also, a free agent now is the Inspiration. They finished up their time in TNA. Their last match in TNA was this past Thursday on Impact, the debut episode of AMC, where they defended their TNA Knockout Championships against the Elegance and lost. And now that the Inspiration is free agents, where they could go, they could come back to WWE and be iconic. Or they could stay the Inspiration and go to AEW. That is possible as well. This is another talent. This is a team that's free agents, and it's really endless of where they will show up. I mean, it's also safe to speculate that they will probably go back to WWE, be iconic in WWE again. Sorry, I did it twice, but I can't help it. But it is possible that could happen. We will see on that as well. One thing we can say is for sure is that all members of the Rascals are now all elite, and they will be making their debut in AEW very soon. I'm not sure when, but any day now. Whether it's on Collision or Dynamite, I feel that it will most likely be on Dynamite. But this is good news. This is great news for them. They're all together, and what they'll do in AEW, I'm very curious to how their run will look like in AEW. People are already speculating about what that could look like, hoping what it can be and hoping what it won't be. But I am looking forward to it. As far as Seth Rollins, my predictions in Seth Rollins coming back either at the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. I'm still holding steady to that. But I also have a plan C, which is as reports and Seth Rollins is saying, he's healing up nicely. He's able to do most things without the sling, which is great. And it seems like he's absolutely aiming for WrestleMania 42. But I'm still holding on to plan A and B, which is either at the Royal Rumble, which is plan A, or plan B is Elimination Chamber. Plan C is WrestleMania. So I'm still holding on to that speculation, and then we'll wait until after February before I go into plan C, and then reveal what I think could happen in my plan for plan C if we don't see him at the Rumble or at Elimination Chamber. TNA Impact debut on AMC. The show started with AJ Styles, which was great. Daria Ray, now known as the Suit, she made her debut. Once in WWE, now in TNA as the Suit, is now the new director of operations with Santino. That should be interesting. As the new director of operations, she signed Elena Black Elena Black, who has now returned to TNA. That was great. That was a surprise. It's good to see her back in pro wrestling. I know she said that she wanted to take some time away from pro wrestling, and that's what she did. She did her own thing, and when she was ready to come back, she came back, and she's back in TNA. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy for her. Mike Santana, once again, the TNA champion. That was a good match between him and Frank Kazarian. Interesting enough, I was waiting for Nick Nemeth to come out, but he didn't, which was good because I wanted Mike Santana to enjoy that moment of winning the TNA championship, and he's enjoyed that moment. So now it's just a matter of time before Nick Nemeth cashes it, shoots his shot, basically. So I had to wait for that. Jacob Fatu calls out Cody Rhodes. And Rhodes comes out to the ring. Now, Jacob Fatu calls out Cody Rhodes because earlier that night, Cody Rhodes on SmackDown said to Jacob Fatu that he has a receipt coming. So Jacob Fatu is like, let's get it. Let's go. Cody Rhodes comes out. Now, keep in mind, when Cody Rhodes said that Jacob Fatu has a receipt coming, he said that with his three-piece suit, with a three-piece suit on. And then when Jacob Fatu calls him out, Cody Rhodes is in track gear. He's ready to, he's set. He's good to go for a fight. So he comes out running, gets in the ring, they throw hands, and security comes out, separates the two. Hard to separate Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, especially Jacob Fatu, but they separate them. Nick Aldis goes ahead and makes this match official for this coming Saturday. On Saturday night's main event, it'll be Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. This is going to be a good match. I really feel like this has got a main event match written on it, possibly. I'm kind of hoping it is a main event match. I really do want it to be a main. It's got a main event feel to it. So, but absolutely. And also Cody Rhodes announces himself to be in the Royal Rumble match. So there's that as well. But Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Saturday night's main event. Looking forward to that match this Saturday. Leon Slater answers the open challenge for Carmelo Hayes' United States Championship, which is why Leon Slater is unable to defend his X Division Championship at Genesis. It's Genesis. Was unable to defend it at Genesis because he was in the open challenge. He was in the open challenge against Carmelo Hayes. Now, Leon Slater. Let me tell you this about Leon Slater. I really believe Leon Slater is going to be a WWE superstar before the end of 2026. And I say that for a couple of reasons. One, he's had, in 2025, he was on WWE television more than once. He was on WWE television a couple of times, and he had these opportunities handed to him, given to him because they were earned for him. So, he wrestled with Javon Evans for the WWE Tag Team titles against Dark State. There's that. There's John. He wrestled at John Cena's final match on Saturday night's main event with Leon Slater against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. He had a match against Obafemi at New Year's Evil for the NXT Championship. And he was also not only was he in a United States Championship match this past Friday on SmackDown against Carmelo Hayes, which was his second appearance on the main roster of SmackDown in WWE, but he also competed in the Iron Man Challenge and won the Iron Man Challenge. Didn't win the Iron Man Challenge. Sorry, that was Javon Evans that won, but competed in the Iron Man Challenge. So absolutely. Now I also say WWE superstar come 2026 because his contract is set to expire with TNA in fall of 2026. So I absolutely see him being a WWE superstar, the way he's been featured so often on WWE television, whether it's NXT or in the main roster on SmackDown, Saturday night's main event. They are keeping a very close eye on him, and they are waiting for the moment where his contract is set to expire, because I know and have confidence enough in this that, like they did with Joe Henry, like they did with Jordan Grace, they are waiting for the right moment to offer Leon Slater a contract with WWE. So it's not for me, and I could be wrong about this. I'm only speculating on this, but just how everything looks, based on how everything looks and is going for Leon Slater, and just WWE alone, I believe and have confidence enough to say that it's not if, but when that contract expires, a new contract that has WWE on it is coming for Leon Slater. I absolutely believe that. 100%. I will come back to this. I will remember this, and I will come back to this in fall of 2026 when his contract is up, and we'll see what we see. We'll see what happens. But I'm confident enough to say that about Leon Slater. It's there. It's in the tea leaves. I'm seeing it. I'm confident enough, and I'm excited about it. But yeah. Also, during SmackDown, we had qualifying matches to determine qualifying matches to enter into a Fatal 4-Way. In that Fatal 4-Way match that will take place this Saturday, on Saturday night's main event, is a #1 contenders match. Now, those in that Fatal 4-Way match are Trick Williams, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn. All four of them are now in the Fatal 4-Way and will battle it out for a #1 contenders match for the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. Now, as far as who it will be in this match, I'm leaning more towards Randy Orton, because instead of a Trick Williams, a Damian Priest, and a Sami Zayn, because I feel when it comes to Sami Zayn, when Sami Zayn gets that opportunity for that WWE Championship, I really believe that when he gets it, he will win. I really believe that it's going to be like for the Intercontinental Championship when he had that match against Gunther at WrestleMania a couple years ago. It's going to be like that, where he pushed and scraped and did not give up, and he clawed and he won, and he became one of the rare people who beat Gunther for a championship, for that NXT championship. So I feel it's going to be the same thing with Sami Zayn when it comes to a WWE championship match this time around. Not like it was the last time around when it was against Roman Reigns a couple years ago in his hometown, in his home country of Canada. I don't think it's going to be like that. He came close in that one, but I feel that this time around, how he's been talking about it and how it's the one championship he has yet to win, that has eluded him. When he gets that WWE Championship match this time around, it's going to be a win. It's going to be a hard-fought win. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a good match. It's going to get people on their seats. But when he gets that match, it's going to be a win for him. So that's why I don't see it happening at the Royal Rumble, because Drew McIntyre is going to hold on to this WWE Championship for a while. So I see it more being Roman Reigns because of there's a lot more history there between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. That would be a good match. It is a good chance that it could be Trick Williams, but I don't think it would be a good idea to put Trick Williams in a match like that this soon into his debut, only to have it turn around and lose that match. I think they want to put a nice, good handful of wins for Trick Williams, and one of them, and when he does so I don't see him winning this match. I see it Randy Orton winning this Fatal 4-Way match, and then it's being Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. But we'll see coming this Saturday, but that's how I feel it could go. Yeah. Anyway, that'll do it for this week's episode of Wrestling with Rumors. I appreciate all you for watching, for listening, for hanging on for as long as this week's episode was. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up when all new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors drops every Sunday. Also, the daily episode of Rumor of the Day, that drops every day. Well, not every day. That drops on Monday through Saturday. And then also, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know of what you thought of this week's episode. Let me know if there's anything you want to say about any of the rumors you heard, about anything I said. Love hearing from all of you. Appreciate all of you for watching. And I will see you all back here next week for a whole new episode of Wrestling with Rumors. Until then, don't forget to take care of yourselves. Have a great week, everyone. See you on the next one. Peace, y'all.